So, you know, maybe a small child or two. I don't even pick the obnoxious ones. These aren't obnoxious, they're sweet. But there's even somebody that has it worse than a vegetarian zombie. Like, for instance, if you're going to be born a prince, make sure that you are born the firstborn prince. Because only they get to be the next king and they get to inherit everything. Because if you're not the firstborn prince, things don't go quite so well for you. For instance, there was my friend Rupert. Now, he was the fourth-born prince. The firstborn son, that was Prince Egbert. He got to be the next king. He got the castle, he got the soldiers, he got the people bowing down to him all the time, all the money. It was very nice. The second-born prince was Prince Ethelbert. And when it came time for him to get his inheritance, all he got was the vineyard in France. He really liked that vineyard. I don't know why. Then there was a third-born prince. That was Prince Bert. Now, Prince Bert didn't like being a prince because he had to keep his clothes clean all the time. And he had to have perfect manners and be an example to everybody. So, when it came time for him to get his inheritance, he got the Royal Galleon, the finest ship on sea. So he turned it into a pirate ship. He renamed it the Founding Spleen. And he said, I am now a pirate captain, and I will give myself a really cool pirate name, Bob. So he was happy. And then that was the fourth-born prince. That was Prince Rupert. When it came time for him to get his inheritance, he went up to the royal steward, and the royal steward said, hold out your hand. Well, that didn't bode very well if what he was going to inherit would fit in a hand. So he held out his hand, and into it, the royal steward placed a jewel, a very nice red stone called a carbuncle. And Prince Rupert said, well, it's a good-sized carbuncle. Maybe I could buy myself a manor house out of it. Something very nice to live in. This isn't too bad, but it's rather a strange color. Looks kind of like a kidney bean. The royal steward said, it is a kidney bean, your highness. It's all that was left after your father's wars, and that's it. That's all you get. By the way, your older brother, the new king, says he doesn't want any moochers around the castle, so be off with you now. And poor Prince Rupert found himself outside the moat with nothing but the clothes on his back and a kidney bean in his hand. But he said, well, I'm a resourceful fellow with a liberal arts education. I am sure I can turn this to good stead. And off he went down the road. Well, he hadn't gone very far when all of a sudden he smelled something delicious. He smelled roast beef and lovely fruit pies. And was that honey mead? Oh, it must be honey mead. The kind of smells that only come from a very good inn. Well, sure enough, he gets over the next hill, and what should he see but a beautiful inn? The kind that has nice soft beds and really good food and people to wait on you hand and foot. And Prince Rupert said, well, it's not a castle, but I can live here very happily. I'm going to have to think about how to do this. So he went down to the inn. Now, the innkeeper, of course, did not know that Prince Rupert had nothing to his name but a kidney bean. So when Prince Rupert arranged himself in the doorway in the most princely pose, the innkeeper said, oh, your highness! Oh my goodness, there's a royal prince in our inn. Your highness, please, come in, come in, come in. Sit down, I'm going to prepare you the finest food that we have. And my daughter is going to serve you some honey mead while you wait. So Prince Rupert sat himself down grandly, and the landlord's daughter came along, and ooh, was she pretty. And she served Prince Rupert some honey mead, and Prince Rupert started to get himself a little bit of an idea. Well, after dinner, he gave enough for 2 grown men. He said to the innkeeper, I do believe I'll spend the night. I'll take your finest room, please. And the innkeeper led him upstairs, and oh, it was a beautiful room with nice soft beds. And Prince Rupert said, innkeeper, would you mind taking care of something for me? Well, of course, said the innkeeper, that's one of my jobs. I have this very valuable stone. Would you please keep an eye on it, make sure nothing happens to it? Oh, yes, your highness, said the innkeeper. What a funny-looking carving. That's kind of like a kidney bean. And he went downstairs, and he put it up on the mantelpiece behind the candlesticks where it would be nice and safe. Prince Rupert was peeking around the corner, and he saw where that kidney bean went. And he went out to the landlord's barn after everybody went to sleep. And he stole the landlord's prime rooster, and he brought it upstairs, and he showed it where the kidney bean was hidden. And then he went back to bed, and everybody in the inn slept through the night. And in the morning when Prince Rupert came downstairs, there was the landlord, and he was just sort of standing there looking very upset about something. My dear sir, said the prince, what's
That seems to be the problem. Oh, Your Highness, said the landlord, I don't know how to tell you this, but somehow during the night, my rooster got in here. And he ate your jewel. I'm so sorry. Oh, well, said Prince Rupert, what are you going to do about it? You don't have to pay for your food, you don't have to pay for your lodging. That's not enough, said Prince Rupert. It was your rooster ate my kidney bean. I want the rooster. It's only fair. I suppose so, said the landlord. Okay, you take the rooster. So all that day, Prince Rupert stayed in the inn eating out 3 broken. When he went upstairs to the bed that night, he said to the landlord, "Oh, landlord, would you please take care of my rooster for me?" Sure, Your Highness, I'll take very good care of the rooster for you. Now, the landlord went out to the barn, and he put the rooster into the hen house, and he locked it all up nice and carefully, and then he went to bed, and everybody in the inn was asleep. But during the night, he came downstairs again, went out to the barn, and he got the landlord a Christmas pig, the one that he was fattening up for Christmas dinner. Great big beautiful pig. And took the rooster and he put him in the pig pen with the pig. And then he went upstairs again. In the morning, he came downstairs and the landlord was just sort of sitting at the table, rocking back and forth like this. "Oh, my dear man," said the landlord, "what happened now?" "Oh, Your Highness, I don't know how to tell you this, but somehow during the night, your rooster got into the pig pen. The pig sat on him, squashed him flat. He's dead." "Well, that's terrible," said the prince. "What are you going to do about that?" You don't have to eat, you don't have to pay for your food and lodging?" "No," said Prince Rupert. "It was your pig, my rooster, I want the pig." "It's only fair." "No, you're right, Your Highness," said the landlord. "Okay." And he gave Prince Rupert the pig. So all that day, Prince Rupert sat around eating out for 4 grown men. When he went upstairs to bed that night, he said, "Oh, landlord, would you mind my pig? Would you mind for me? He's the prettiest pig that you ever can see. Would you mind, if you're so kind, would you mind my pig for me?" "Oh, all right," said the landlord, "if you insist." So he went out and he took the pig in the pigsty. He got all kinds of extra boards. He just made that pig nice and secure in the pigsty, and then he went to bed. And everybody in the inn went to sleep, except Prince Rupert. In the middle of the night, he came creeping down the stairs again, went out to the pigsty, took the pig out, put him in the stall with the landlord's great big wise tail behind the horse, the plow, the wagon, and it's very expensive. And he put him in there and went to bed. In the morning time, he came downstairs. The landlord was just prostrate with grief on the floor. "What happened now?" said the prince. "Well, Your Highness," said the landlord, "I don't know how to tell you this, but somehow the pig got out. He got into the stall with my great big horse, and the horse kicked him all the way to France. He's gone." "Well, that's terrible," said the prince. "What are you going to do about that?" "No food, no lodging, and I'll give you the horse." "Very good, my good sir," said the prince. He'd done pretty well. He went from a jewel, which was really a kidney, to a rooster, to a pig, to a horse. And he wasn't done yet. That night, just to make sure nothing would happen, the landlord took the horse and tied him to the great big oak tree right in front of the inn, so he could sort of look out during the night and make sure nothing happened to that horse. And then he went to bed and everybody went to sleep, except for Prince Rupert. He came creeping down the stairs and he took his knife and he cut through that rope till there was just a little bitty strand, holding the horse to the tree, and then he went back upstairs to bed. Well, in the morning time, he came downstairs and the landlord was just sort of sitting there, like this. "Oh, is there another problem?" said the prince. "Your Highness, I don't know how to tell you this, but this morning, my daughter went to take the horse for a drink of water, and the rope broke, and the horse ran away. It's gone." "Your daughter, huh?" said Prince Rupert. "No," said the landlord. "Yes," said Prince Rupert, "it was your daughter lost my horse. I want your daughter's hand-me-down." Now, Prince Rupert figured he was going to marry the landlord's daughter. He was going to be waited on hand and foot for the rest of his life at the inn, being fed very good food and sleeping on nice soft beds. He had it all figured out. "Fine," said the landlord, "wait here." Well, the landlord left and he came back dragging a heavy burlap sack. "What's that?" said Prince Rupert. "I can't bear to see my daughter married. Just take her and go." "Take her and go?" "Yeah, just
Take her and go.
And the landlord slammed the door and left Prince Rupert standing outside the inn with a sack full of wife. And Prince Rupert said to himself, I can't even feed myself, how am I going to feed a wife? But he picked up the bag and he put it on his shoulder and he started walking down the road. Hadn't gone very far when he suddenly thought to himself, this young lady can walk on her own 2 feet, I'm not carrying her. And he put down the bag and he opened it up. But inside the bag was not the landlord's daughter.